Welcome to another Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization Bigfoot sighting report. This sighting report takes place 10 miles north of Diamond Lake, Oregon. It's near a place called Lemolo Lake. These lakes are a result of the Crater Lake. The Crater Lake has many rivers that spring from it, and these rivers make lakes down below this mountain on all sides, and it's amazing when you start looking at the Bigfoot sightings in the area. They're happening near the rivers, creeks, and lakes around this ancient volcano. It actually exploded 7,700 years ago, and then it erupted again about 4,000 years ago. It's not an extinct volcano. As a matter of fact, this part of Oregon has many volcanoes. We're going to take a look around for Bigfoot sighting areas for Bigfoot. The following Bigfoot sighting report is just one of many Bigfoot sightings in an area. We like to give you an example of why we're here looking for Bigfoot, what makes this place a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Sit back and enjoy the Bigfoot sighting report. This is below Kelsey Mountain. The area is above the Umpqua River, about 10 miles north of Diamond Lake. That would make it closest to Lemolo Lake area. Here goes the report. On Saturday, about 5:45 a.m. in the summer of 2004, August 28th and 29th, my hunting partner and I were walking down a gravel road and heard a loud scream from uphill above us. The scream started in a high pitch and went into more of a gruntal growl and echoed through the canyon. After a brief discussion, I told my friend that it sounded like something was mad that we were out there and wanted to scare everything in the canyon. The next day at approximately 8 p.m., we were hunting high above the canyon on the next ridge. I was the first back to the pickup truck and sat down about 30 yards away to watch for elk. Suddenly I heard something coming down the hill through the burned trees. It sounded like another hunter, only was being very loud. I stood up to try and see what it was, but the wind picked up and blew my scent toward it. The sound stopped for a few seconds, and it turned back and ran up the hill. I ran out to the road to try and see what it was. By this time it had reached the top and was running upright along the ridge. I caught 3 or 4 glimpses through the burned trees before it went over the ridge. About 10 seconds later, I heard 2 loud screams, like before. My friend called me on the radio to ask if I had heard it and tell me he was headed in. I walked further out to the road to meet him. As we were talking about it, we heard it once more. The thing I saw was walking upright, about 6 feet tall, and looked like a man with no neck in a ghillie suit. When the screams occurred, my hunting partner said he was watching some deer in the canyon below, and the deer suddenly looked in the direction of the scream and ran away. The first vocalizations happened on August 28th, 2004 in the morning. Clear day, clear sky. And then the Bigfoot sighting, along with vocalizations, happened on August 29th, the next day, in the evening. Clear sky, and the sun was set at the back, so he had a good look at it. The sun was behind him, which is optimal. If the sun was in his face, then it might have obstructed his view. Conifer forest, like you've been seeing, we're in the area looking around, so we're filming the location that this happened at. Of course, it happened in 2004, so things have changed a little bit. There's some logging areas, some burn areas, and so forth. The follow-up investigation report was done by BFRO investigator Dr. Wolf H. Fehrenbach. He says, perhaps coincidentally, a low adjacent feature is called the Dread and Terror Ridge. The witness commented on the walking pace of the creature, which was fast, brisk, and covered a distance impossible for a person in that terrain. When I'm in a Bigfoot sighting report area, especially a Bigfoot sighting hotspot, and it has a name such as Dread and Terror Ridge, it always makes me wonder, did something happen at the time that this was named? Did these people back then, the explorers, the pioneers, did they have a Bigfoot sighting in the area? Perhaps, perhaps not. Great name for a ridge where a Bigfoot sighting took place. There are so many Bigfoot sightings in this part of Oregon that surround the Crater Lake, this Diamond Lake, and Lamola Lake. These are lakes that are a result of Crater Lake. The water from the lake comes down through the rivers and fills Lamolo Lake and Diamond Lake. So it's created, in my opinion, a habitat for Bigfoot. Bigfoot like generally high elevation conifer pine forests, and it takes some elevation to create that type of habitat. So volcanoes, mountains kind of create the habitat for Bigfoot, in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this Bigfoot sighting report. It's one of the many reports that brought us into the area to search for Bigfoot. Keep on watching our videos. We'll keep on squatching.
Okay, I just found what appears to be a structure. All of the trees are bent in from the outside and wedged in the center. And right as I walked up on it, one of the trees just started shaking and cracking. It scared the hell out of me. The tree stopped shaking. I'm not quite sure what it was. I can't really see in here. It's so strange. I don't know if the camera is picking this up or not, but all the trees have been bent in and to make a big hut looking thing. You can see this. The tallest one looks about 10 feet up right there. It's been snipped off. Most of them are just bent and tucked under each other, all right here in the center. It's bizarre. Here's where a couple of them have snapped off. They're all bent. Oh, something's walking around over there. You guys can hear that crackling noise. That was really creepy. That tree was just shaking back and forth. There's no wind out here, and only one tree was shaking back and forth right on the other side of this pile. Okay, I'm gonna work myself around the other side.